Hi Nick, how are you?
I'm good, thanks, Adrian. How's Switzerland today?
Yeah, not too bad actually. It's a bit overcast. It has been beautiful. We've had beautiful sunny weather, and there's a little bit of snow. And actually managed to do a ski on sort of several afternoons a week, which is nice. I just have to walk up, which is the downside of it all. But all on my own, beautiful. But sadly,
That's brilliant.
I'm stuck here. The borders are shut. Um, there's no flights. I was supposed to arrive in South Africa 2 days ago, so this is obviously why you're not seeing me. So what's happening with the latest lockdown stuff?
Geez, Adrian, we were fortunate enough to pull in the harvest before the lockdown started. So, I got the last grapes in, but then there was a bit of misconception in the wine industry. If we could bring the harvest in, was the wine industry seen as an essential service or not? But then, we got to go ahead that you're allowed to make wine, you're allowed to look after the wine and make sure that it doesn't turn into vinegar. So luckily, with me being on the farm, I pulled in a small skeleton crew to help me, because as you know, everything's going through malolactic fermentation at the moment. And we still had a few tanks to press. So we pressed the last tanks basically just before the Easter weekend. And it's the wines are looking really, really good. So.
Right. What's the? I mean, last time we spoke, you were pretty enthusiastic across the board on the 2020 harvest. But anything that's really sort of standing out as exciting?
Yeah, I mean we're about 64% up on quality of last year, so definitely a better volume coming into the cellar, and then also the quality is looking brilliant. The whites, the Chard and the Chenin, really, really nice. We had good conditions this year. We didn't have the rain during harvest as what we had last year. And the whites are still just going through their last little bit of fermentation. And then I'm really excited about the Cabernet, which came in last this year. Cabs are looking really good. That wind that we had earlier in December, that caused quite a bit of damage on the farm. The Cab blocks were quite protected from that. So I'm really excited about Cabernet. And the Cab Franc too, we don't have a lot of it, but the quality is amazing, lots of spice there.
What's the volume of the Cab Franc?
The Cab Franc, sure, it's probably about 7,000-8,000 liters. So that should be enough for the single varietal Cab Franc and enough for the Rhodium.
And for some Rhodium, yeah, always good for the Rhodium. And tell me, how's the it's obviously our second vintage in the cellar. How did the cellar with the increase in quantity of grapes? How did you find the cellar operating?
Yeah, I mean the cellar's designed for 350 tons, and we only took in 193 tons this year. So it was great to have the extra space. If I picked a tank, a red wine tank, it went into that tank, and that was its tank. It's always frustrating if you're in a winery and you have to start emptying out tanks because you don't have space, and unfortunately you can't leave the wines as long as possible on the skins. But with our cellar it was perfect. Some of the wines I left up to 6 weeks on the skins, and that was his dedicated tank. So now I'm enjoying all the space. It's working out well, especially for the extended post macerations on the wine.
Right. Okay. So with the post maceration, extended post maceration, that allows you to do what exactly? What are you looking for there?
Yeah, so it's basically, we have quite a nice warm fermentation at 28 degrees Celsius, especially on the Bordeaux reds. And then, once fermentation's finished, I can actually leave the wine on the skins for an extended period of time. And we keep the tanks warm during that time. And you get a very, very nice polymerization of the tannin. So that's basically just the softening of the tannin, just a polishing effect that takes place. So during that process, I taste the wines on a daily basis. And when I feel the tannins at the perfect, position, or that I'm, getting that lovely silkiness, then we'll press off. It's a real nice luxury to have. and I just find it gives the wines beautiful length and just rounds them off nicely.
Oh, fantastic. I mean, I was supposed to, I guess, sometime later this week, we were supposed to be sitting down in the room you're in, doing a tasting. So sadly, I can't be there. I did watch you do one of your virtual tastings the other night. You had the fire going and you tasted your way through some Rondekopp. So I managed to crack. I think we went through 3 bottles of rhodium that night, thanks to you. So, but it was absolutely delicious. But no, sadly, so we'll just have to. I think in terms of the tasting, you'll just have to do it, and we'll just do a virtual tasting. I won't be able to taste any of the samples, but really looking forward to your thoughts on the sort of wines as they develop through post maceration.
Yeah, so the wines are at a stage. Some of the wines are finished malolactic, some are going through malolactic. So my idea for the week is just to taste through the wines, and it's quite a tricky stage to taste the wines during malolactic because everything smells like caramel. It's amazing when you have mallow on wines, you get this beautiful caramel sensation when you mix the wines. But I've got a good idea of what the grapes look like, what the blocks look like, and monitor those wines during fermentation. So I'll be able to give you a good idea of the quality out there, but definitely a step up on the 2019 quality. And I think 2020, it was a bit of a crazy year now with the lockdown, but the wines are definitely shining.
No, it's great. I mean, I think it's fantastic that we've successfully got ourselves through the harvest, and it sounds like a great harvest, and to the next virtual tasting. But in the meantime, give my best to all the team down there, and obviously stay safe. Yeah, I know. And if you miss us, I'm doing a few virtual tastings, so I do 1 to 2 tastings either on Facebook Live or on Zoom. So yeah, you can watch us in action, and please feel free to taste along. I will, and I've got my cellars full, so I will be tasting along. Absolutely. All right, Nic. Thanks very much. Talk soon. Keep well, and regards to family. Yeah, and to yours. Cheers. Bye. Bye.